Crazy, Megan, because this is now in downtown Los Angeles near the University of Southern California, and it really has been jackpot for the entire downtown because these suspects are now throwing money out the window.
Charity often comes from the most unexpected places. A clear example of this was experienced by the residents of Santa Clarita in Los Angeles County, California, who on an otherwise ordinary day found themselves the beneficiaries of a group of philanthropic bank robbers.
Is you have kids that are actually running out of their house, watching this on TV, and chasing this car, so they're...
After robbing a downtown bank, these individuals attempted to flee at full speed in a black Volvo SUV. Upon realizing they were being chased by dozens of patrol cars, they changed their escape strategy and drove into the suburbs of Santa Clarita.
You can see people on the side of the road.
Whether they did it to redistribute the wealth or to create a distraction remains unclear, but the suspects began tossing handfuls of cash out the windows.
Sometimes cash being thrown out, and You can see the kids are all running after it, right?
Although this altruistic act brought joy to many locals, it wasn't enough to help the robbers escape. They were eventually stopped when they got caught in traffic at an intersection. All that remained was to see whether the judge would show them the same generosity when handing down their sentence.
Right there, I'm going to zoom in on him. Yep, that was the driver in the shirt and tie. Try to get these suspects out of the area very quickly, and they're calling for more deputies to come and secure the vehicle, because right now this could kind of get ugly. I mean, this is...
The woman, who is in her 80s, had reportedly gone out to meet a friend, but got lost going home. She ended up over 4 miles away in the wrong direction.
High-speed police chases usually end in a dramatic crash, or at least an arrest. However, for this sweet 80-year-old woman, the pursuit must have felt just as intense and full of adrenaline as the ones often seen online, despite never going over 6 miles per hour on her mobility scooter.
Just a second. Hold on. Oh, you need to hold up. She missed her turn. There's no way to get her.
It all began when this silver-haired speedster lost her way and ended up 4 miles down a state highway instead of heading home.
Make sure she gets to where she's going. Are you stuck? See if we can get you out.
Fortunately, a very patient officer stepped in to help guide her back safely without any major issues.
Make sure you get where you're going. Okay.
Now, this is something I've never come across working in the Tulsa gang unit.
Still, the woman insisted that everything was fine and that there was no need to make a fuss, convinced she could make her way back on her own. The officer, who said he treated her as he would have liked someone to treat his own mother, let her go without issuing a ticket, but not without a firm warning to steer clear of state highways from now on.
Driving on Route 56.
Okay, no more out on the state route.
Hey! Hey! Wake up!
This is, without a doubt, one of the strangest police chases you'll ever see. While all police officers are trained to handle nearly any situation or emergency, there's really no official protocol for stopping something like an ironically named Uber Amish.
No, I mean, I'm yelling, whoa, 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 and no.
The incident unfolded when a 21-year-old man was spotted driving his horse-drawn buggy the wrong way down a street in Orwell, Ohio, while under the influence. Despite the officer's attempts to get his attention, the young man appeared to be unconscious, leaving no choice but to stop the buggy using the police cruiser itself.
Disregard. He just rammed it into my car.
Stop your horse!
While it's clear that driving under the influence is illegal, one can't help but wonder, was the man really driving, or was his horse just trying to be helpful and get him home? And more importantly, what kind of tow truck do you even call for a horse and buggy? Regardless, the young man was arrested. Even though stopping Santa Claus could make you public enemy #1 in the eyes of children everywhere, this Arkansas officer had no choice but to conduct a preventive inspection on the jolly man in red and white. The reason? A rather unusual one. Instead of being accompanied by his sleigh and reindeer, Santa was cruising through suburban streets aboard a riding lawnmower. As expected, the suspect, a North Pole resident, responded kindly and cooperated with the officer. After confirming everything was in order, Santa was allowed to continue on his way, spreading joy and delivering gifts to the children of Arkansas on Christmas Eve atop his trusty lawnmower.
So we're going underneath the 67th Street, and again, that next exit would be...
While there are many ways to save fuel, the most efficient one is undoubtedly to literally not use it. Perhaps this wasn't what Adam Hollingsworth had in mind when he galloped on his horse along Interstate 94 in Chicago, Illinois, though he definitely must have felt like he was in the video game Red Dead Redemption.
Well, so yeah, so I'm hearing dispatchers talk about trying to end this.
For nearly 30 minutes and over 7 miles, this man rode through all 3 lanes of the highway, escorted by a group of motorcyclists and later by a large number of police cars. Even though his horse could barely reach 15 miles per hour, the police could only watch helplessly, unable to do anything to stop him.
My impersonation of a former horse race announcer, Phil George Jeff here, as we go out the Dan
Finally,
Ryan.
near 95th Street, the Cowboy decided to stop and face the police, since it was all part of a protest. Nevertheless, this did not exempt him from facing several charges, for which he was sentenced to at least 1 year in prison.
I've always been an animal lover, and 4 years ago, it was my first chance ever being around a horse. I'd rather go to jail for something like that. That was something worth going to jail for.
As clever as he may have been to steal a car, this criminal was just as foolish when it came to escaping the police. The suspect quickly panicked upon seeing patrol cars with their sirens blazing right behind him. This was only the beginning of a series of truly poor decisions and maneuvers. When the stolen vehicle shut down, the man fled on foot, running into a golf course. There, he attempted to use the nearest means of transportation he could find, a golf cart. After a very slow-speed chase, he decided to abandon the cart through a tunnel to throw off the pursuing officers, who were also following him in another golf cart, resuming the chase on foot once again. Just as limited as his intelligence was his stamina, which only lasted him a few meters. He ran dangerously across a vehicle crossing before collapsing from exhaustion on the ground, where officers from the Las Vegas Police Department finally arrested him.
Police quickly close in on Sleeping Beauty.
Worrying about how cool your getaway car looks should be the least of your concerns when trying to escape the police. However, the suspect in this video must have been aware of how awesome it would look to flee from a police chase in a 20-foot-long Cadillac limousine. This incident took place in Westchester, New York, where officers responded to reports of a limousine driving recklessly on the highway, reaching speeds of up to 120 miles per hour. Upon noticing the patrol cars, the suspect attempted to evade the police by turning into the streets of an urban area. However, realizing the officers were getting closer, he chose once again to rely on speed and headed back to the highway. Surprisingly, the limousine's transmission exploded, leaving a cloud of white smoke in its wake. What the officers didn't expect was that the man found one gear that still worked: reverse. With impressive skill, he re-entered an urban area, driving like a pro until one bad maneuver caused him to crash into some brush, ultimately ending in his arrest.
Put your hands behind your back! Good stuff, come on, roll it! Stop fighting, the
commander level.
Avoiding a speeding ticket in his final sentence, the suspect in this Fort Worth, Texas chase kept police on edge for over 2 hours, driving at a very low speed along one of the main interstate highways. Driving at less than 10 miles per hour, the pursuit unfolded so slowly that some people stopped to take photos. The suspect, who remained on the phone with police for almost the entire chase, claimed to be scared, explaining why he chose to maintain such a drastically low speed. Although spike strips were deployed in an attempt to stop the suspect in the white sedan without much success, the chase finally ended when special security teams intervened, using an armored vehicle to bring the suspect to a stop, who appeared to be under the influence of substances.
I glance in my mirror, he's running my name. I've got pistols, I've got drugs, I've got to go. Chase is on.
The video on screen belongs to a truly astonishing police chase that took place in 2004. The fugitive, William Taff, 25 years old, was wanted on federal warrants when, due to a traffic violation, an officer pulled him over in his blue Mustang in the city of Del City, Oklahoma. Panicking, Taft decided to initiate a high-speed pursuit through urban streets and later on the interstate highway, reaching speeds of 110 miles per hour.
They start throwing out spike strips.
Go throw stop sticks here. I missed him. He missed with the stop sticks there. The suspect was able to get over.
I just turned right there to miss a spike strip they'd thrown out.
He's now heading backwards. There was a...
Oh, my goodness.
That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
For half an hour, this individual pushed patrol units to the limit, forcing them to perform multiple maneuvers to try to stop him. Despite applying the PT maneuver 3 times, the fugitive managed to recover control of the vehicle and continue the escape as if he were a professional driver, even after crashing into a guardrail and having to reverse out.
Just that thought of knowing that you might get away, it just went away. Car's still running, why give up? I can't believe what's happening, so I continue going. I'm feeling pretty cocky about everything, you know, it's like, hey, you're not gonna stop me.
In the end, another attempt at the PIT maneuver, this time more aggressive, along with the accumulated damage to the blue Mustang throughout the chase, finally allowed law enforcement to arrest William. Despite his initial 12-year sentence, he remained under state custody for 18 months.
The only thing I could see at that time was yanking from both sides. It jerked me so hard. Probably relieved that it was over, and at the same time, I wish it wouldn't have been over. I ended up getting a 12-year sentence in the state penitentiary.